you've got UFC fighters that know Ronda going, hang on a minute, I think she's legitimately pissed. I know Ronda, she is pissed. And they're now getting different fans all of a sudden, like Ronda's talking out of turn, like she's not doing things. Now, I've got to be honest with you, let me just tell you, everybody, I don't believe Ronda is going, rogue all of a sudden and she's just doing exactly what she wants. I think this is one big thing. There's no way WWE would. I know they said they find her and stuff like that, but trust me on this one. I think she's just gone the full hog like Roddy Piper would have used to have done it, and that's who she kind of wants to be. I think I honestly think this is her last big outing, and what they've done here is they've got, you've got your fans for Becky because they want to see this emergence. You've also got people from the outside now checking Ronda out thinking, hang on a minute, I think she's legitimately angry. There's something really a big problem. Actually, she might do something on the stage. It's a bit like Brock, you tune in sometimes like when he almost knocked out Braun Strowman at the Royal Rumble. There's something, just unexpected about the guy. And Charlotte Flair, arguably the most, as I said before, current star there. Matt, what did you make about, because we should talk about this, the fact that Charlotte Flair is now the SmackDown Women's Champion going into this? A lot of people were angry, a lot of Asuka fans are angry that she lost and that Charlotte's the champion going in. What is the thinking behind that, Matt? And because, they didn't need to do that, but they have. What is the thinking there? And is it, are we, under the... Because I've got this other vision that are we going to see, potentially Becky win, Charlotte's got her title, and Bayley and Sasha have got theirs, and we're going to see them all come out and hug and, do that sort of Eddie Chris moment in the ring. Is that what that's for? And if so, that seems like a bit extreme to just take it off Asuka like that, because I do feel a little bit for her, if it's only to make that moment. I won't take anything away from Charlotte, because if it's not for that moment, then so be it. But is it just to make that moment? And if so, Matt, it's probably not. I do have sympathy for Asuka there, but what's your thoughts on giving her, the belt at this time?
I do like Asuka. I think she's incredible. I think she has everything it takes to be successful in WWE. I just feel like this main event has taken precedent over everything else going on in the company right now. So, getting that belt on Charlotte brings more kind of spotlight to the main event. And also, not only that, but if anyone had noticed, WrestleMania is a long event this year. So taking the belt off of Asuka actually does them a favour, because it's one less match to showcase at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They have to have another women's main event title match. And, as petty as you may think that seems, every minute counts at WrestleMania. They're timing things, they're rushing people out, and, that takes a bit of a burden off, an extra 10 minutes or so, extra 10, 15 minutes, that's a big deal. So, and considering the booking that Asuka had leading up to this, she had no real threat, there was no booking, there was no real storyline going on with that. I mean, from my point of view, I thought we was going to get Mandy Rose or something, which is, it would have been alright, but it wasn't ideal. So, Charlotte going in with the championship's fine, and if we do get that moment at the end when it's the 4 horsewomen, I'm not going to be against it. I'm going to be all for that. I mean, I feel like they've earned this, they've built towards this, they've achieved this. Definitely all students of the game, they've studied the people, they're big long-term wrestling fans. If anyone deserves their moment in history, it's these 4 women, so give it to them. And of course, like I say, there's the possibility for future matches in to come, Ronda and Shayna Baszler, and I feel like we could do the whole 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen for who is the real 4 horsewomen.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty crazy, but that's where we're heading towards. I feel like it.
Yeah. The only thing with me with having them all out at the end is having Charlotte and Becky reunite again. That would be the only sour taste in my mind, because I want to.
Like one of those English pub moments where calm down, it's one of your friends. Friends.
Yeah, that's the only thing for me, because I'd like to see him carry on the feud a bit more in another program. But that would be the only sticking point to me. But we wait and see. Now, in terms of the match itself, Matt, triple threats, I am not always the biggest advocate for these matches, as you know, but because sometimes they can be a bit of a cluster. I remember the triple threat from a few years back, and it was a bit like that. So, Charlotte against one-on-one is it doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes they just get a little bit of a cluster. I would imagine, Matt, this is going to be well thought out ahead of time if they haven't already done it. And, you've got some good minds in there like Charlotte. So, hopefully the booker does a good job here of presenting it well.
I feel like I might upset you as well as some of the other things. I feel like it's a triple threat, but as we've seen over the year, Ronda is progressing okay, but she still is not at the level of, say, Becky and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of feel that Becky and Charlotte will do the fair work of the heavy lifting in this match. They will tell the story better. Of course, they have the chemistry in the ring together.
Mm-hmm.
Ronda, she has the star power, name power, but in the ring, I'm not too sure she matches up with the other two. I feel like it has to be a triple threat, in my opinion. Ronda is a big star, but could she pull it off one-on-one with one of the other two? It would be a little bit hit and miss for some people. I feel like as a triple threat, we know we have two people in there that if one of them isn't pulling their weight, the other two will definitely pick up the slack. Yeah,
definitely. That's why they've made it like this, I think, in my opinion. But saying that, if you go back to Survivor Series, at least the one thing I know is that Ronda and Charlotte could have a good match, because that was good on the night. It was actually better than the other one. So at least they've got something with each other. But you're right. I think that the fact that they played a safe hand, really, because they know this match is going to be in the spotlight. Now they've played a very safe bet. And hopefully it still tells as good a story throughout the whole thing. Matt, I know we're doing this preview, so we've still got another Raw before this, but is there any suspect thing about they might make a stipulation here where they have two belts on the line, like one falls for the belt and then the next is for the other one, that sort of ridiculous kind of thing? Because I hope they don't now, because that could get really bloody confusing. But is there a chance that could happen, or do you think they're just sticking with the first title when it's on Ronda? Let's get that belt. That's the one we want.
That was the one that was advertised. That's what it was all about. Hopefully it's either all or nothing for Charlotte, two belts. Becky, gets a shot. I just hope it's just for the women's Raw title.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call it these days. Raw title.
The red one.
Raw Universal title. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I hope it's the red one.
Yeah.
Because it just gets too confusing otherwise. We can't have this whole multiple thing. And also, like you said before, if Becky wins, she gets the Raw title, and then there is the 4. And I suppose that is the dream, the culmination. 4 women busted their ass over the years, been nerdy, been fans. Anybody that's listening to this now, you could go into a gym and you could step into a wrestling class and you could become just like them. No doubt there is people out there listening to this now that actually will go and join a wrestling class and actually become something, because it is within your grasp. And that's what WrestleMania is all about, telling those stories.
Yeah, totally. I hope with Ronda they book her correctly. I would stick with how she's been. I would make her just very Brock Lesnar-ish in this, because you've got to use, with people with more limited skills, you've got to use just what they're best at, and I think that's what she'll be good at. And plus, remember when she was a babyface, Matt, and she used to do all that talking, I used to be like, oh, for God's sake, stop doing it. This is the time to do it now. Keep doing it, because in this kind of match, it's going to wind every fan up, to say the least. I hope they stick with that. I hope they don't just suddenly change it. So there's a lot of good things they can do here. They can get a lot of heat easily now with Ronda. That's the good thing about it. People want to see her beat, and that's what you want. It's a bit like the Triple H effect when he was champion. You paid to see him get beat. So let's hope they do it. Now, Matt, we've got to get to the real focus here. Who is coming out here? In your heart of hearts, Matt, we know this is the last match of the show now. If we didn't know this was the last one of the show, this might be slightly different at predicting it. But we know this is the end. This is the climax. And if you look at it, Matt, on a ratio of percentage of, last year we closed with Brock Lesnar winning the match, not to everyone's delight. It's probably happened, with Brock, with Triple H. I can't remember too many other times, Matt, where we've ended with heel winners. There is a thing about it, Matt, about the closing of the show. They like to leave people happy as possible. Who is your gut telling you, Matt? Who are you? I know who you're pulling for, but I mean, who's your gut? Who do you go for here as far as who's coming out of this as the winner?
Well, let's talk about walkaways. I mean, Charlotte walks away with the SmackDown title. Ronda walks away with a fat purse of money, and maybe Becky walks away with the Raw Women's title. That's why I'll put it.
Yeah, I kind of wondered. I thought to myself, have WWE purposely put that belt on Charlotte for us to all think, oh, so she won't win, but she's got that belt? That sort of mentality. I'd like to think that they're really, someone like Bruce Pritchard, who's working back there, he talks about things like that all the time on his podcast. I'd like to think they do something like that. It is extremely tough at the moment between Becky and Charlotte for me, because Charlotte's records and pulling things out of the bag when you think she shouldn't, but she does, and it's a bit like this past week, is staggering. And I think her triple threat record is pretty decent as well. That's another reason that I say it for her. I don't know. I've just got this feeling, and I'm going to go with it. I'm saying Charlotte Flair. And it might be controversial because, you want that moment at the end. And I've said Becky needs to chase. But in a triple threat, like I say, you only get half the percentage. And there's always a chance Charlotte only pins Ronda. And Becky gets she's not completely hurt, and they go to that one-on-one match still between Charlotte and Becky down the line and have another big match to get more out of it. I go with Charlotte, Matt. I don't know what you think to that, but I'm going. It's just, I don't know. I just got this feeling WWE play a different way here, and they're gonna really shock us. They're gonna put all their eggs in one basket with Charlotte for the next time, and Becky's gonna chase still again. But that's my opinion. Again, there should be on the face of it, Matt, Becky should be winning this, but I've got a feeling Charlotte. I don't know. I doubt her before, and she always comes up. So I'm going Charlotte on this one. As far as the odds go, Matt, the clear favourite is, of course, Becky Lynch by quite some distance on this one. And believe it or not, Matt, Ronda Rousey is second favourite. So there you go. Interesting. Yeah, and Charlotte is 11-2, so she's quite a way out. She was even further than that a long while ago, but yeah, they are not rating her close to it. So it's fascinating.
From what stirring rumours here, but from what I hear, Charlotte isn't talking about making babies.
Yeah, it was quite funny. I think, did I send you the that bit of news, Matt, where she found out that she was going to be the main event from Paul Heyman, and then she was going to do an April Fool's joke to.
Oh yeah.
You can imagine Vince. Get rid of it.
She knows she's